I've worked with hundreds of folks coaching them face-to-face and thousands online so they can connect with their video audience. The same question keeps coming up. Where do I look when recording the video? If you stick with me, whether you're recording with a phone, webcam or mirrorless camera, I'll explain where to look and why you need to do it. Hi, I'm Tosh from DIYvideostudio.com, the site that helps you create captivating audio and video content. Here on YouTube, make sure you like, share and subscribe to get more tips about making your own online content. If you're new to creating video, it's important to learn where to look and thereby build a connection with the viewer. Get it right and they'll respond more positively towards you and your message. Get it wrong and they'll leave thinking you're aloof or even untrustworthy. When you record a video, you're not making a speech. Video is more intimate. You're speaking to an individual, so imagine that you're having a conversation, albeit a one-way chat. In any conversation, there are two individuals, you and the other person. Say, if we were in a room together, we'd be looking at each other and making eye contact much of the time, although doing it continuously, now that would be a little bit creepy. But say that we're chatting and I look off to the side and maybe the ground, or look up at the ceiling and maybe have a look at my drink whilst we're chatting. What does that say to you? My body language shows that I'm not interested in you. And not making eye contact is something associated with being untrustworthy or even lying. Once the viewer starts to feel that way, you can forget about the know, like, and trust, which is the opposite of what you want. To create a connection with the viewer, you must make and maintain eye contact with them. Maybe not 100% of the time, but mostly you want to give the impression that you're looking at them. That might be harder than you think though, because when you're shooting your video, usually you're on your own. It's basically you and the camera. Most of us find it easier to respond to other people than to a lump of plastic, metal and glass, which is your camera. That's why you have to make an effort and imagine that the camera lens is a person, or at least a person is behind the lens. That's why you have to make an effort and imagine that the camera lens is a person, or at least that there's a person behind that lens. You can't see them, but that's where they are. So that's where you need to look. That's how you make a connection, because you appear to be speaking directly to the viewer. Better still, it should be like a conversation where the viewer is gripped by what you're saying. Remember, you need to look into the camera lens because that's where the viewer is. But like I said before, that can sometimes be difficult. If you're shooting with your phone and using the front camera, or a mirrorless camera with a flip-out screen, then it's incredibly easy to end up looking at yourself on the screen. When you do that, it looks like this. You're no longer looking at the viewer and not making eye contact. If you're shooting with a phone, make sure that you look at the dot where the camera lens is located. Even if you turn the phone around and use the best camera, it's easy to look at the middle of the phone instead of the camera. From the viewer's perspective, it looks as if you're looking at something off to the side. Now, if you're shooting with a webcam or the built-in camera on a laptop, things can get a little bit tricky, especially if you're recording an interview with someone else, because you can see the other person on the screen. Your natural instinct is to look at them and to make eye contact. The trouble is that you're looking at the screen and not at the camera. So to the other person and on your recording, you seem to be looking down below the camera and not making eye contact. But say you're using a script in your video. If you put your script on your computer screen to read it, again, you're going to be looking below the camera and not making eye contact with the viewer. But there is a way around that. I've got this device. It's called a plexicam. You mount your webcam or phone here on the shelf and then hang the plexicam off the top of your computer display. It's clear plexiglass, so you can see the Word document script underneath, and you read the text as it scrolls up past the camera. Because the line of sight is almost the same as looking into the camera lens, to the viewer, you are still making eye contact. So the key to making a connection with your viewer is to maintain eye contact by looking into the camera lens. Although it's okay to occasionally look away, don't look here, there, and just everywhere. That's going to look odd, and your aim is to appear natural, likable, and someone the viewer can trust. So remember, look straight into the lens. That's where the viewer is. I know that initially it won't feel right. Like every new skill, you need to keep practicing it. Repeating it will make it more natural to do, and eventually it will become instinctive. For instance, sports people spend hours practicing their game to become skilled. So put in the time with this and you will succeed. I've got other relevant videos that you should find interesting. I'll put links up on the screen. If you found this video useful and would like to support the channel, check out the links down in the description. Plus, it'll help me an awful lot if you like, share, and subscribe. To make sure you don't miss any of my new videos, smash that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep creating.